Stupas and Chaitya. The stupa is a memorial monument associated with Buddha, Pratyek Buddha, Arhats, and Chakravati kings. After their nirvana, stupas are erected at crossroads, often containing relics. A Chaitya or Chaitya refers to revered natural landscape, sacred trees, religious monuments, and respected individuals which are deserving of worship. Certain important events in Buddha's life are also regarded as Chaitya. In the Pali Canon, the Buddha used the term Chaitya for beautiful landscape as seen in Digya Nikaya. These texts also clarified that stupas and Chaityas were distinct from each other until the 1st century BC, with inscriptions marking their differences. The Saddharma Pundarika and Prajnaparamita Sutras instruct Buddhist followers, monks, nuns, laymen, and laywomen to construct stupas through which they would be led to Buddhahood. Eventually, stupas also became objects of worship and began to be used synonymously with Chaityas. According to Mahaparinirvan Sutta, Sakyamuni Buddha instructed his disciples to erect stupas over the relics of Buddha, Pratyek Buddha, Arhats, and Chakravati kings at key crossroads. Accordingly, stupas were built after his passing at major locations related to significant events in his life to preserve the sacredness of these sites for future generations. In the Buddhist tradition, Chaitya were often built in monastery courtyards for prayers and worship, and stupas were sometimes erected with the hope that the deceased would be reborn in Sukhavati. Stupas or Chaityas have been constructed in a variety of locations such as city centers, hilltops, riversides, and monasteries. These structures were raised by institutions or individuals, often as a way to commemorate relics like Buddha's hair, nails, or personal objects, as well as religious texts or mantras. Over time, Buddhist communities from different regions developed distinct architectural styles for stupas, yet all Buddhists continue to venerate these monuments. Unfortunately, in some cases, stupas or Chaityas are now being built for commercial rather than religious purposes. There has been ongoing debate about the terms stupa and Chaitya. Some Buddhists see them as synonymous, while others distinguish between them, with stupas being larger structure and Chaityas being smaller. While both words are derived from Sanskrit, they have distinct meaning. Stupa refers to memorial structure, often erected over relics to commemorate enlightenment. Chaitya or Chaitya refers to sacred trees, persons, or other natural and religious elements, and is sometimes used for key moments in Buddha's life. In ancient times, stupas were built to enshrine the relics of Buddhas and Arhats, or to commemorate important religious events. Emperor Asoka is believed to have built 84,000 stupas across the Indian subcontinent, many of which were constructed from stone or brick. Chaityas too were established during Asoka reign, particularly as religious monuments associated with natural landscape or sacred trees. The Mahasamgika Vinaya explained that if Buddha's relics are not enshrined, the structure is referred to as Chaitya. Over time, however, the distinction between stupas and Chaityas became less pronounced, especially as relics became harder to obtain and other objects were used instead. By the 1st century BC, stupas and Chaityas began to share architectural features. Monks and nuns initially used stupas for meditation and worship, eventually incorporating them into religious practice for various purposes. These included healing, receiving teachings, and preaching. Stupas became widespread as lay Buddhists constructed them, often within vihar compounds for both personal and communal worship. While stupas and Chaityas initially had different meanings, stupas being linked to relics and enlightenment, and Chaityas associated with sacred landscape and monuments, their distinction gradually blurred. By the 1st century CE, they had similar appearances, though stupas often contained relics, whereas Chaityas did not. The Saddharma Pundarika and Prajnaparamita texts indicate that the construction and veneration of stupas lead to enlightenment, further blurring the line between stupa and Chaitya as both became sacred objects of worship. Thank you.